silkworm diseases today, and there will be some tests also which may be dealing in another class if possible. So as far as silkworm diseases are concerned, different types of diseases are there, and we will see some of the most common type of disease only in a nutshell. One is known as nosematosis, otherwise known by the name pebrine disease. As in the case of pebrine disease, it is caused by a microsporidian parasite known by the name Nosema bombycis. That is the name of the parasite which is causing this pebrine disease. Now, in the case of this silkworm, as it is mentioned here, here you can see that it is mainly affecting the reproductive organs of the silkworm, and as a result what happens is that the fertility of the silkworm, that is its ability to produce more eggs and larvae, will be greatly affected, and there will be problems or deformities in the cocoon, and there will be higher death rate. So these are some of the important features, and it is the name of the parasite which is causing this pebrine disease is known by the name Nosema bombycis. Now we have another, here you can see how the silkworm will be appearing in the case of a pebrine disease. Now another disease is known by the name Flatchery, or it's also a bacterial disease, and here it is caused by Bacillus bombysepticus and as well as Bacillus thuringiensis. Maybe in botany you might have studied about BT cotton and other things. They are the same bacteria. Bacillus thuringiensis is responsible. So two bacteria are there. One is Bacillus bombysepticus, and second bacteria is the Bacillus thuringiensis, popularly known by the name BT. So they are causing this Flatchery or disease. It's a kind of bacterial disease. Now it leads to liquefaction of the silk. Liquefaction means the silkworm tissue, that is whatever content is present, all the body tissue in the silkworm will be converted into a liquid-like material. So that is known as a liquefaction, converting a conversion of a solid into a liquid. So the entire body tissue in the silkworm will become a liquid, resulting in a watery appearance and loss of appetite, and finally leading to death. So that is how the Flatchery disease is actually progressing, and it is also due to poor hygienic condition. One important thing that we have to keep in your mind is that whenever we are cultivating silkworm, unless we take care of these hygienic measures properly, there will be large scale mortality in the use of a silkworm. So that is the second disease known by the name Flatchery. It is a bacterial disease. Another disease is known as a muscardine. Muscardine, as you can see, is that it's a fungal disease, and it is caused by the fungi known by the name. Different genera are involved here. One is Bovarium, Metarhizium, and Nemoraria. So these are the different genus or genera of fungi which are causing this muscardine disease. And what happens in the case of this silkworm is that as a result of this infection, and it will be exhibiting a whitish fungal growth on the body. That is one important thing. All over the body will be covered with a whitish fungal mycelium on the entire body, and silkworm will be quite lethargic. Lethargic means not moving much. That is the meaning of the word lethargic. And there will be loss of appetite. Appetite means hunger. The silkworm won't be eating anything, and finally that will be leading to the eventual or final death of the silkworm. And this is a very fast spreading disease. Here you can see that unless especially during humid means wet condition, if the temperature if the water content is very high and lot of water vapor is forming, and there will be a lot of humidity is there, and that situation will also lead to the spread of muscardine disease. Then fourth disease is known by the name NPV, which is popularly known by the name nuclear polyhedrosis virus. That is why it is known as a NPV. So NPV, here you can see that it is a viral disease that affects the silkworm, causing symptoms such as sluggishness. Sluggishness means not moving properly. Then loss of appetite, not having proper hunger. Then darkening of the body, and their body will gradually turns quite dark. So that is what happening in the nuclear polyhedrosis. So it is not a bacterial disease, it is a viral disease. Now the infected larva may also exhibit a swollen appearance due to the accumulation of viral polyhedra in their tissue. So certain areas of the larvae will be quite showing swelling or swollen in nature, and that will be due to the presence of a lot of virus or the nuclear polyhedrosis virus within that area. And NPV outbreak is also responsible for large-scale death of the silkworm. So that is another peculiarity of the nuclear polyhedrosis virus. Then here you can see that we have another type of disease known by the name of protozoan disease, and this protozoan disease is actually caused by parasites such as Nosema, Zoology, and Coccidia. Different types of protozoans are responsible. Nosema is one, Zoology is another, and Coccidia is another. Then infected silkworm may display symptoms such as lethargy. Lethargy means very tiredness, and also appetite as well as diarrhea. That is also present in this kind of lower animals also. Then grassery can weaken the silkworm, making them more susceptible. That is what happens with the grassery is that will be weakening their immune system, and many other secondary infection can also affect the silkworm during that time. So that is another problem. So that itself is causing some problem because of the presence of this protozoan, and at the same time it is also leading to the occurrence of many other bacterial infection, and finally resulting in great reduction in the amount of silk produced. So these are some of the features of another disease known as grassery disease. Now we have yellow brood disease. I couldn't get a proper picture for that, and it's actually characterized by yellowish discoloration of the silkworm. Hemolymph. Normally you know that hemolymph is colorless, almost like the color of a water, not having any proper color. But if it is turning yellowish, that is a sign that it may have a yellow brood disease, and due to the presence of toxin produced by bacteria or virus. So that is also another important. So this virus will be also producing a lot of toxins within the body of the silkworm, and infected silkworm may exhibit symptoms such as lethargy, loss of appetite, and ultimately death. As in the case of other disease, there will be tiredness on the part of the silkworm, it won't be eating anything, and finally leading to death of the silkworm. Then another disease is known as a flatuary. Here earlier we have studied one flatuary disease. There is where it is characterized liquefaction of the silkworm tissue, and similar to that is known as a nervous flatuary. And here the condition of the nervous system of the silkworm, leading to symptoms such as uncoordinated movements, paralysis, and eventual death. So here in the case of other bacterial flatuary, the solid tissues become a liquid, but here this is known as a nervous flatuary. Slight difference is that there will be some nerves are primarily affected, resulting in improperly coordinated movements will be there, paralysis will be there, and an early death of the silkworm will be there. So nervous flatuary is caused by several factors, including nutritional deficiency. There is one factor. Then genetically genes may be responsible. Then environmental factors can be responsible. So multiple reasons are there for the occurrence of nervous flatuary. Then we have many other diseases are there, such as septicemia, muscardine, white muscardine disease. Then black spot diseases are there, which are also caused by different types of bacteria as well as a fungi. So this is an idea of what are the major types of diseases which are affecting. Here you can see that these are the main type of disease: pebrine disease, Fletcheri, muscardine, NPV, grassery, yellow blood disease, and nervous Fletcheri. So these are the different types of bacterial as well as disease. In addition, white muscardine, bacterial black spot, septicemia are also different types of other diseases which are affecting the silkworm. Now coming to the management part, here you can see that it is mainly proper hygiene and sanitation, then proper surveillance and continuous monitoring are essential for outbreak, controlling the outbreak as well as maintaining a healthy silkworm population for sustainable silk production. That means if silkworm diseases are affecting our silkworm rearing, that will be significantly affecting our income and our investment also. If we cannot produce enough amount of silk from that silkworm, that will lead to the death of the silkworm and loss of our money. So, additional selective breeding for disease resistance can help silkworm strains that is sometimes there are some type varieties of silkworm which will be quite resistant to certain disease. So if we have those kind of silkworm, we can collect them and we can rear them in large numbers and we can use them for the silk sericulture. So that way we can reduce the mortality of silkworm and also our can also increase our profit from silkworm industry. So this is an idea of what are the different type of diseases which are affecting our silkworm industry.